Grocery prices are up. I know there's lots of factors contributing to inflation, but look, your government has been ready to temporarily double the GST tax credit. So why not temporarily slash the price on carbon? That would at least help reduce the price of gas, and it may help reduce the price of groceries. After all, farmers are using gas. Why not just do it temporarily?
Well, Evan, of course, affordability issues are important, and we have to address them, and that's what we're actually doing through things like the GST rebate. But I do think that, Mr. Poilievre has to be honest with Canadians. The price on pollution, which is a climate-related program, is also paired, as you said, with a rebate. And as the price goes up, the rebate goes up, such that the vast majority of Canadian households are actually better off with a price on pollution than they would be if there was no price on pollution. It is funny, though, right? Like, this is the first time we've ever heard Mr. Poilievre start to talk about something related to climate change in the 6 months that he's been running for leader. And the first thing he's doing is repudiating the Conservative platform from 2021 and essentially saying that he's going to take apart Canada's climate plan. Like, I think Canadians should have some real questions.
Well, look, you knew he was going to do that because he ran on that for 7 months. Their contention is that
But he didn't run on that. When he was elected and every MP in the Conservative Party was elected, they ran on a price on pollution. So I think he should actually have a conversation with the constituents who voted for him to tell them, was he telling them the truth then, or is he telling them the truth now?
Well, I mean, he just won he won 68% of the vote, but Conservatives seem to like it. But the PBO in March of 2022 said, quote, most households under the backstop will see a net loss resulting from federal carbon pricing under the plan by 2030-31. So his point is that by the end of the decade, the rebates won't matter and that you're getting hammered by that. What is your response to that?
Well, my response is that's not quite accurate. It doesn't actually include all of the information. First off, the direct rebate will always be higher for the vast majority of Canadians than the amount that they pay. What the PBO said is that there is some slowing impact on economic growth associated with the price on pollution. What it didn't say is if you don't have a climate plan that effectively mitigates carbon emissions, the price associated with actually adapting to climate change will be far higher. So at the end of the day, Canadian families will get more back on average than what they pay.
Okay, Minister, I'm literally reading from the report here. I mean, you're telling me that's not what he said. I'm quoting him. Household carbon costs, which now include the federal levy and the GST, and lower income exceed the rebate, and the induced reduction in personal income taxes are rising. The largest net loss for households in the net income quintile is Alberta. The largest net gain and lowest quintile is Saskatchewan. Like, I'm literally reading it. Now, I know it doesn't really hit that until 2030, but my point is, just to get back to it, people are feeling the pinch now. Farmers are feeling the pinch. If you could temporarily double the GST tax credit, why not temporarily suspend the carbon price? Not forever, but while inflation is a persistent 7%, while groceries are up 10%, while gas is up, give people a break now. What's wrong with that as a temporary solution?
But that's exactly what we are doing through things like doubling the GST tax credit, which is focusing on those who are having the greatest challenges with affordability. I mean, let me remind you that every industrialized country around the world is challenged with inflation right now. Canada's is actually one of the lower levels of inflation in the world. For somehow to attribute that to the price on pollution belies any reasonable logic. But what I would say to you is it would be actually the worst thing to do to get rid of the price on pollution because 80% of Canadian households get more money back right now than what they pay. And so you'd actually be taking money out of people's pockets, not putting it back in.
Okay, but just going back, let's just be clear. Your government openly says that the price on carbon is increasing gas prices by 10 cents a liter. I understand you're saying that's mitigated, or 11 cents, that it's mitigated by the rebate. But the idea that there's no connection between an inflated price of gas and or food and the price on carbon doesn't make sense. You're saying there is an inflated price, but we're helping people cover it with the rebate. But the logic is not that there's no connection between the price on carbon and the increased prices. Your government admits that, right?
Well, no, actually not. You do mitigate it through the rebate. But I would just say to you, inflation is being driven by far broader factors than a price on pollution. Look at inflation in every industrialized country in the world, and including many who do not have a price on pollution. There is no economic argument to say that the price on pollution is driving inflation. And if you asked 100 economists, 99 would tell you exactly that.
Minister, you and I have had this discussion. I understand that, but you're telling me now that when you increase the price on carbon, look at gas. You and I have talked about this. It does increase the price per liter of gas. That's inflationary. You're saying it's offset, but you're not now coming on the program to deny that this has a knock-on consequence on the price on gas. You know it does. I know it does.
Well, of course it has a knock-on effect on the price on gas. That's part of the point of having a price signal so that you actually have a plan to address climate change. Now, climate change hasn't gone away. It remains an existential threat to the future of this country and the future of this world. But what I am saying to you is to say that the price on pollution and the escalation on the price on pollution is causing inflation that exists in Canada simply belies logic. Look at Italy. Look at the United Kingdom. Look at the United States. Look at a whole range of countries around the world. Canada's inflation rate actually is lower than most of those. So it simply makes no sense.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there because I want to get a response. Minister Wilkinson, always good to have you on the program.